Welcome to the Wild Digest. I'm Scott, welcome back, and in this exciting episode, I'm going to go over my plans for October. There are a lot of reading events going on right now, or are about to launch rather, and I've decided not necessarily to leap onto any one of them, but to dip into a few. And also to kind of do my own thing. I'm basically going to call it my witch's brew. The spooky season, October, Halloween, fall, all my favorite time of the year. And I feel like if I pigeonholed something, some project, some reading event, it wouldn't really be fair to the holiday and the time of the year, and also what I care about. So I've decided to sort of mix things up a little bit, and I've got some great plans for the next few weeks. As I record this, October is still a couple of days away, but I can assure you that you will be seeing my face repeatedly throughout the month, and also hearing my voice. But that's another thing for a little bit later. So let me go ahead and bring up, I have a little list here. This covers my plans, more or less, on what I'm hoping to do throughout October, so let's get started. First of all, it's because it's horror, and even though it's not quite October yet, I did finish reading this Deadtime Stories book, Black Knight. I don't know if you can see the cover there. This was my first Deadtime Stories book. It was fine. It's a little bit of an oddity because the other ones I've read have been really, really centralized on certain areas. I guess the Goosebumps ones kind of bump around a bit. But this one was a little strange because it was set in Florida and it involved a haunted castle. And I don't quite understand why they didn't set it in England or Scotland or Ireland and actually use a real castle or a real castle and have maybe the kids visiting if they wanted to make them American kids and have the story sort of unravel there. But they actually drop a medieval style castle into Florida, of all places. And there's a ghost. Well, actually, there are multiple ghosts, and the kids get sort of mixed up in this whole plot where they have to release a spirit and do battle with the Black Knight of the book's title. And it's a little odd. I feel like they're sort of trying to create their own weird universe where reality and the laws of physics and time don't really necessarily apply. But I don't know how successful that was. I have one other Deadtime Stories book that I'll be reading at some point, and we'll see if that one works. But this one didn't quite come together as well as it could have. Mainly a setting issue, but that's that. All right, so as I said, there are multiple reading events going on in October, including Occult Detective October. Originally I decided I was not even going to tread into that world, but I did find those Robert Morgan books a couple of days ago, and I did a video about my picking them up at one of my favorite local bookshops. And so I am going to open the month, as promised, by reading the very first one. That's The Things That Are Not There by Robert Morgan. This is the first of the Teddy London supernatural mystery books. I have since found out that they did 6 mass market paperbacks in this series. I have 4, and I think I'm missing 3, and I can't remember what the other one. Maybe I might even be missing 2, but I am going to read the first one. It's only a couple hundred pages. I'll start the month off with that and sort of see how things go. I might try to squeeze another one in if I have the time, but this is definitely how I'm going to start things off by reading this, The Things That Are Not There by Robert Morgan. So that's going to be my guaranteed tiptoe into the Occult Detective October thing. After that, the Elusive Exclusive Book Society recently did a video where they talked about a Fritz Leiber story, or novel rather, that they almost unanimously disliked. But they talked about what their plans were for their next reading, and they mentioned they were going to potentially be reading The Dreams in the Witch House by H.P. Lovecraft. I've read it before. I read it many years before, many years ago, rather. And I have multiple collections on my shelves that have that story in them. But I decided I am going to read that next, or following that Robert Morgan book. So I will be reading The Dreams in the Witch House, and I'm going to read it from my Library of America Lovecraft collection. I do have the new annotated H.P. Lovecraft, edited by Leslie Klinger. If you don't have that book, track it down. It's phenomenal. The problem with that one is it is 100% a bookstop. No, it's a doorstop. It's huge, and if you are going to read that book, you're going to need a table or an accommodating lap, because it's a beast of a book. But this one is fairly compact, so I will be reading Dreams of the Witch House out of this, and I believe it's only, at least in this book, it's only like 35 pages or something, so that should go pretty quickly. So that'll be number 2. Number 3, and I just mentioned Fritz Leiber. A few months ago for Rocket Summer, I had read science fiction stories that had been republished by Armchair Fiction. And one of those was this one, The Liquid Man. And on the flip side, because all the Armchair Fiction books are doubles, sort of modeled after the Ace doubles, but they're trade paperbacks size, is You're All Alone by Fritz Leiber. And so I'm going to read that one as my 3rd book of the month. This was originally published in a pulp magazine. I'm not sure which one it was, but what's pretty cool about this reprint is they did reprint the splash page there. Hopefully you can see that, with this sort of kaiju-looking dog beast attacking what I assume is New York. In this format, it's only 121 pages, so it should read pretty quickly. There are a couple other illustrations in there as well. So that should be fun. One of Fritz's pulp horror stories. So that'll be number, what are we looking at? 3. For my 4th book, I thought I would do a little bit of a media mix-up. Back in March of this year, I attended the Los Angeles Vintage Paperback Collectors Show, and I always go there. I've been going there for many, many years. It's held in Glendale, California. It's a single day, but if you're ever in the area when this show takes place, I highly recommend it, because there are always bargains to be had. And I don't have one of the bookmarks handy, but there are loads and loads of authors and artists who come and sign their books for free. So you can meet a whole variety of incredible authors. When I first started going there, they had like Ray Bradbury and Poul Anderson. And I mean, there were incredible people there. Harlan Ellison used to sign there. And, of course, a lot of those people are gone now. So you do see a few of the oldsters who are still showing up every year to sign at this particular show. But it really is about buying the books, because they have numerous sellers there, and the bargains are amazing. There are boxes of dollar books, and even cheaper in some cases. But also there are signed collectible hardcovers and posters and artwork, and it's just a really, really terrific show. It's a pity it's only one day, but I always go. I always make the best of it, and I always come away with a bag of books. Because I started my channel after I attended that show, I never did a haul, but I realized I had marked all of my acquisitions from that show in my database. So it's possible I could do a show down the line, maybe in November or something, discussing the Vintage Paperback Collector Show here in LA, and I can show you the stuff I got, and hopefully inspire some of you to make the trip out next March for that particular show. But the reason I bring that up is because one of the books I picked up from that show was The Haunted Strangler, and this is the novelization of the movie starring Boris Karloff. And if you look on the back, it actually shows there's like a still of Karloff there. Oh, there you go. Watch the movie version starring Boris Karloff. But this was a novelization, so the movie came first. As far as I know, I don't think this is an original novel. So my plan is I'm going to read the book and watch the film and sort of do a compare and contrast. So that should be a lot of fun. The movie is available on YouTube. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's in the public domain. I could be wrong, but it's definitely out there, and I've seen full-length versions on YouTube. So that'll be a fun thing to do. After that, I went to one of my other favorite bookshops recently, the Last Bookstore in Studio City, California. It's not far from me. And my plan was to scan the shelves in their horror section, which is not a huge section, but they do have some fun stuff in there, and grab, almost at random, a low-priced paperback from hell to read during October. And I spotted this one. It was $3. It's in pretty good shape. And it's Andrew Niederman's Surrogate Child. Looks like Matt Damon on the cover there. So I grabbed this. You can see the spine there. It's in pretty good condition. There's a couple creases there. It's been read probably 30 years ago or something. And so I grabbed it. It was only $3. It's in good shape. And we're gonna see where that goes. That's gonna go some point after the Haunted Strangler, and we'll just read it. Totally random pick. I haven't read any reviews. I haven't tracked anything down about the book or the author, so that'll be fun. And then that is, effectively that's my to-be-read pile right there, because I am doing a gaming convention in the middle of the month, and that's going to be I'll be gone from the 15th, I think, through the 19th. So while I'm traveling, obviously I'll be reading some stuff on the plane, but I won't be able to really focus my energy on just reading and having fun during the month. I'll be having fun in other ways, rolling dice and running games. So that will break things up. Also, wedding anniversary coming up in October, and that's going to sort of eat up a few days. So I'm going to just tentatively say that those 5 books are my guaranteed reads for October. If I find additional time, and like if I plow through these quickly, I do have obviously other Robert Morgans that I could dive into, because now I have 4 of those. I have a few more middle grade horror books I could read. Here's a Goosebumps, Shocker on Shock Street. And I'm sure if I pepper those in, that should fill the gaps in perfectly. I have another plan for the month that I wanted to share with you. And this requires a little bit of a preface. When I was in elementary school, one of the books that I discovered was a book called Nightmares, Poems to Trouble Your Sleep, written by Jack Prelutsky and illustrated by Arnold Lobel. It's this one right here. This isn't obviously the exact book. I mean, it could be, but I don't think it is. I acquired this one a few years ago. So this book, in many ways, changed my life. And you're thinking, why would a little kid's poetry book change Scott's life? Well, my mother was already into horror, so I grew up watching horror movies. I was a Universal and Hammer horror film fan as a little kid. So I already was into horror, and I would occasionally read horror books if there was something that I could find that was suitable. And one day I discovered this poetry collection, and it blew my mind. The poems in here are super dark. Some of them are really grisly. I mean, grotesque. And the accompanying artwork is chilling as well. So it really had a dramatic effect on me when I was a kid. So much so that I memorized a couple of the poems, one of which I could recite to this day. And I've never revisited it to learn it, to memorize it. It's just something that I memorized when I was a kid, and it never left my head. So that is Nightmares, Poems to Trouble Your Sleep. Now, the reason I bring this up is that what I'm hoping to do, well, what I'm planning on doing, which I've already put into motion, is there are 5 Fridays in the month of October. And every Friday, I'm going to do a dramatic reading from that book. I've already produced 2 of these, and I've already scheduled them to drop. So, this Friday, watch my channel for The Haunted House out of this book, a dramatic reading. I do some fun characters. I accompany it with some of the artwork from the book. There's sound effects and music. I had a blast doing them, and I'm looking forward to doing the remaining 3 because I also have recorded one for the following week already, and that has been scheduled. So that's ready to drop, I think, on the 10th. The 31st, Halloween, is a Friday, and that is when my favorite poem out of this book, The Ghoul, will drop, and I'm really looking forward to doing that reading. I haven't read that one yet, so I've only read and produced 2 of these videos. They are good to go. The third one will drop while I'm out of town. Even though I'll be in Madison, Wisconsin, that one will get scheduled. I'll probably produce that one this week, and it will be scheduled and good to go. So at the very least that week, even though I'm going to be busy at another convention, you will definitely see the reading of one of the poems on that Friday. So that is another exciting thing I've got planned for you. The only other thing I wanted to talk about, because I've always talk about how I want to talk games once in a while, I mentioned how I had signed a copy of my game Pinebox Middle School when I was visiting my hometown of Rochester, New York, and I found a copy at Millennium Games. This is Pinebox Middle School. This is the hardcover, and I kind of wanted to show it off in one of these videos just so you can see a little bit more about what it is. This one is a big, thick hardcover. This is the third role-playing game I've ever written for Pinnacle Entertainment Group, the publisher, and I'm extremely proud of this game. I also exorcised a number of childhood demons while writing this game, but that's neither here nor there. The reason I wanted to bring this up is because I know, like probably a lot of my gaming viewers, during the month of October, I tend to run a lot of horror games for my game group. So we'll be doing our weekly get-togethers and playing horror games. The exception will be when I'm in Madison, Wisconsin for Gamehole Con, which will be coming up in a few weeks. But even while I'm there, I'm running Deadlands, The Weird West, and The Sixth Gun, which is another Weird Western game, which was the first role-playing game I ever wrote. So I'll be running horror games even while I'm away from home. But if you are looking for a role-playing game to run that is fun and accessible, and you want to try something out that's a little different, maybe you're haven't played Savage Worlds, I highly recommend tracking down a copy of my game Pinebox Middle School. This is, at first glance you'll think Stranger Things. Another role-playing game came out a few years ago called Kids on Bikes. Coincidentally, I wrote a module for that game I was a Kickstarter stretch goal. And you can find my module, Spicerville, New York, in the deluxe edition of that game. But then I wrote this, and this game is contemporary, so it has cell phones and modern technology, but it does have that vibe, that Stranger Things vibe. And you play kids in middle school from 6th to 8th grade, fighting a wide variety of horrific things in the city of Pinebox, Texas. So, if you're looking for another role-playing game to try, you can track that down. It's available in print and PDF. You can actually order it in PDF from Pinnacle Entertainment Group or through DriveThruRPG. We also did a box set. If you track down the box set, it comes with the book and maps and dice and the Benny chips that we use in the meta currency in Savage Worlds, and a whole bunch of other fun stuff, archetype characters and all that kind of thing. So very proud of it. Wanted to at least promote it to some extent, and I'm sure I'm probably going to run it for my group at some point in October, and I'll tell you a little bit about how that goes as well. So that is it. Those are all of my plans for October, for spooky season, and we'll see how it all comes together. But first things first will be that Robert Morgan book, which I will start reading on October 1st. And as I look at the calendar right now, that is Wednesday, so it's the day after tomorrow. It's Monday as I record this. So I will be reading that, and depending on how that goes, I might drop a quick review video of that. And then, of course, Friday, watch this channel for my very first Nightmares dramatic reading. In this case, it will be for The Haunted House. So keep your eyes out for that. until all that stuff drops, thank you so much for watching my channel and sharing it and talking about it. And of course, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. It's very important that you do that. And I look forward to sharing some more fun stuff with you soon. Also, by the way, I picked up some other books when I went to the last bookstore, apart from that Niederman book. So there may be another tiny little haul video coming, but we'll see. Enjoy. Talk to you guys soon. Take care.